Good Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this Veterans Day, the 11th of November, 2014. And of course, today is remembrance and honoring all of our veterans, our servicemen and servicewomen who help keep our country and its freedoms intact. Happy Veterans Day. Of course, today is going to be the last full day of mild temperatures, although we'll be in the upper 50s to mid 60s tomorrow. From tomorrow afternoon right through the rest of the forecast period, we're going down into the tank in terms of temperatures to below normal averages. Right now, we're waking up with mostly cloudy conditions, partly sunny in and around the city. Temperatures there between 50 and 53. And most of the other cloud cover around the region. We have a little bit of fog still left over on Long Island. Temperatures have warmed now, even in Sussex County, so the frost advisory that was in effect for this area is now gone, taken away. Temperatures this morning outside of the region are generally running anywhere from Poughkeepsie still at 39, with a partly sunny sky, where radiational cooling has affected that region up in here. And then temperatures generally in the 40s to low and mid 50s across the region, and they'll continue to rise during this afternoon. It's also a considerable amount of fog. We have a little bit of fog at Kennedy Airport, a little bit of fog at Farmingdale, Islip, and West Hampton, but these conditions are improving here. Also have some fog up the lower Hudson Valley here at White Plains. Visibility is a quarter of a mile in Millville, and some fog down around Millville. And Atlantic City, we have some fog at a half mile there at Atlantic City too. Conditions in Philadelphia has a little bit of fog, but all of these conditions will improve during the next couple of hours. Surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows our nearly stationary boundary here to the north, and this is an Arctic front out to the west here. Low pressure spinning up towards the UP of Michigan. Meanwhile, high pressure is now off the coast, and the winds are coming around. They're either calm, but they're turning more to the southeast, and they'll eventually veer to the southwest during this afternoon as we get this influence here from off the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina and Georgia. Actually, it's our area of low pressure, which is keeping some rain around the coastal areas of the southern mid-Atlantic region, and this will be drifting in and away from the region today and tonight, but will provide an onshore flow, and eventually some low-level moisture will get trapped under the inversion, and we'll have some sprinkles, drizzle, and fog moving in late tonight and tomorrow morning. And the latest morning visible pass of the satellite this morning shows where we have a low-level temperature inversion in place this morning, with clouds and moisture being trapped under the inversion here for broken ceilings. And most of our lifting here is with the storm system off the southern mid-Atlantic coast states, pumping into lots of rising air and rain precipitation here. Well back to the west as our clouds and moisture increasing towards the Great Lakes as the Arctic front gets ever closer to the region. We had quite a bit of snowfall in the upper Midwest over the last couple of days, and we'll show you the snow map in just a moment. And cold temperatures. We've got temperatures in the single digits and teens this morning across the upper Midwest and plains. Now, even though this air mass will be moving in our direction over the next couple of days, it will be modified, but still it's going to be about 20 degrees chillier than it is today. Taking a look at the latest radar, we can see the showers and bands of rain moving in from off the southeast coast here into the southern mid-Atlantic region. Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlooks valid November 16th through the 20th, issued yesterday. Here's the core of the cold from the Great Lakes south, and some of this expanding to the east. Might be a little bit too strong here around the east, but you get the general idea here. And if we move down to the precipitation chances here from the Climate Prediction Center, giving us below average chances over northwestern New Jersey and above normal chances over the Great Lakes with our very active polar and Arctic jet stream, and an active pattern here across the south. This could be influenced a little bit with still a separation here as we still are in a positive NAO, but it's beginning to slowly sink down to a negative phase. And if we do get a little bit more blocking to develop in this time frame, we could have a little bit more phasing and a stronger solution in the models for the next 6 to 10 days. Here's the latest snow on the ground here, and also across Canada, northern United States, the northern plains. It's a very light amount of snow, but it still means that we have all of this precipitation over Europe and Asia and down through Siberia, and all covering all of the northern half of the hemisphere here, in the northern hemisphere into Canada and into the northern and central plains this morning into southeastern Canada as well, as we continue to build snowpack over an Arctic air mass in place. And this is from the Rutgers Global Snow Lab, and this was valid as of yesterday, the latest image. And on the aviational weather deck this morning, we have a little bit of IFR conditions with fog down here across the I-95 corridor, northeastern Pennsylvania, southwestern New Jersey, and basically MVFR conditions, but they will improve. We have some morning patchy stratus and fog across the region, but that will improve. And then an onshore flow continues to increase with the moisture, along with a sharp low-level inversion in place. The result should be areas of fog and widespread low clouds developing during tonight. And as it does appear, the ceiling's lower to IFR overnight across many areas, with MVFR and IFR visibilities anticipated in fog, with even local uh, LIFR conditions possible. The actual timing of the low-level conditions carries some uncertainty, and light and variable winds and calm overnight. Wednesday starting off with IFR or lower MVFR, low clouds and fog, improving conditions to VFR during the day. Some gusty northwesterly winds as the front comes through in the morning. Winds around 25 knots, increasing during the afternoon. Wednesday night and Thursday, both periods mostly VFR. Low chance of MVFR conditions and rain showers southeast on Thursday afternoon. Thursday night ceiling should lower to at least MVFR early, and occasional IFR conditions possible with snow and or rain and a snow mixture on Thursday night, but most of this looks like it's going to be along the immediate coast and just south and east of our area. On Friday, conditions improving to VFR, gusty northwesterly winds possible along and during the day on Friday, and Friday night and Saturday mostly VFR conditions expected. Right now outside of Newark, it's 48, dew point 45, humidity 87%. The wind is out of the east at about 7 or northeast at 7. Visibility is 9 miles. A few clouds at 4,100 feet. And we're going to have some drizzle late tonight and early tomorrow morning with lower visibilities between 1 and 5 miles. And the drizzle and fog with a half a mile visibility early tomorrow morning before overcast conditions take over in the early morning hours. So that will be IFR morning there. Philadelphia right now is at 50, dew point 46, humidity 87%. The wind is variable at 6. There is some fog in the area, broken ceilings at 4,000, scattered clouds at 500 feet. Again, we're going to be talking about some scattered to broken clouds across the region during this afternoon and evening. And there is a chance that some visibilities will be reduced in this area as well, down to 1 mile in fog, especially early tomorrow morning before dawn, before conditions begin to improve. NAMWRF composite reflectivity forecast from Penn State Seawall site shows the lower fog, or scattered low stratus clouds and fog across the area, a little bit of drizzle. And as we move into the afternoon and evening hours, that will probably increase with our onshore flow. Here comes the frontal system. The frontal system will be passing through during the morning hours with clearing skies during the afternoon, and blustery northwesterly winds setting in with temperatures falling from the 60s today through the 50s tonight. The 50s and lower 60s tomorrow, back into the 40s and 30s by Wednesday morning. And by Wednesday afternoon, temperatures tomorrow is Wednesday. By Thursday morning, temperatures are going to fall down and remain in the 40s, and the 40s looks like it's going to be a good bet on Friday and Saturday as well. In fact, on Saturday, we may not even get out of the upper 30s across interior hillier sections. Use the latest GFS parallel mode, 13 kilometers from Levi Cohen's website, tropicaltibbets.com. Here's our area of low pressure here on the GFS parallel off the southeastern United States. Here's our low moving towards the Great Lakes with our Arctic front coming in. We can see the thickness lines dropping below 540 here, just west of the lakes here. As we move through the day, an onshore flow will continue to provide with moisture increasing under a subsidence layer, but low and this cold front will be moving through the region by tomorrow morning, kicking this storm system out to sea with clearing skies. Pardon my voice, I have still some allergy issues here. And it's just cold air mass, blustery air mass in place with polar high pressure building in across the upper Midwest and extending all the way to the coast. Now, this is our scenario for Thursday night and Friday morning. Most of this will probably remain offshore. But it would be cold enough for some snow, so it's possible to see some flakes in the air. We'll monitor the situation. It's a low-end chance right now. The NAO is still in a positive phase and still hedging down towards negative, so there's no real blocking mechanism here. So this just continues out as the polar stream continues in, and this area of strong high pressure here, modifying as it makes its way east across the country, will continue to build in for the weekend. Temperatures on Friday in the 40s. Sunny skies on Saturday, temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. It's going to be real cold and windy on Friday, very cold on Saturday. The air mass begins to modify a little bit by Sunday as the high is directly overhead. And here comes another system here out of the Gulf in our active southern branch that the models are still going to have a hard time dealing with in the long range, or in the short range rather. And it looks like it could be cold enough for a mixture of precipitation at the very onset, late Sunday night, early Monday morning here. Primarily, the thicknesses rise enough with an onshore flow, and low pressure develops off of the Carolinas and then moves off of the New Jersey, New York City coastal waters by Monday morning. We could be dealing with some moderate to heavy rain around here and some ice and sleet, or snow even actually, the further west you go, west of the Pocono Mountains and back into western and central New York State. And then we just continue with a cold pattern. Look at these thicknesses, 534 all the way down to the Delmarva here with another strong area of polar high pressure building in across the upper Great Lakes, sinking south. We've got a trajectory off the Great Lakes, so we could even see snow flurries from time to time make their way west and south towards the Poconos and into the interior mountains here of central and eastern and western New York State. High pressure modifying air mass eventually by the middle of next week. But we have another system here developing in the southern plains on the southern subtropical jet stream, and then a warm and then another disturbance here in the polar jet. And how these two are going to interact will mean the difference between what kind of precipitation we can have overrunning snow by very, very late next weekend across the interior with a warm front. And as the storm gets going, we could find ourselves in a position where we're going to get into a rainy scenario for Thanksgiving. Not so sure of that just yet. Even though we only can go up to the 240 panels here on the GFS parallel because it's not operational fully yet until December 16th. The longer range GFS is showing the potential for a storm right around Thanksgiving. This is the GFS parallel 2-meter temperature anomalies in Celsius, and we've got quite a bit of cold air in the means here. We've got some 12 to 20 plus degrees below seasonal at ground level here across the upper Midwest this morning, and that will continue to spread east. Say goodbye to the warm anomalies here as we get into a very cold pattern here. Notice how the main crux of the cold, though, is still over the central and high plains and spreading gradually east towards the Ohio, Tennessee, and Mississippi River valleys. But by the time we get into early next week and this weekend, we're finding anomalies of anywhere from 2 to about 8 degrees Celsius below normal in the temperatures at the ground level, and that cold air continues to spread east, and it only just continues to build and get colder north to south by early next week, and then eventually a lot more colder air begins to bleed further east at the middle and end part of next week. So it's very active and cold pattern setting up for the region. So once again, for everything live, it's Garden State Weather on GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Happy Veterans Day. We'll see you bright and early again on Wednesday morning.